All right, guys, so the title of today's presentation is Internationally Threatened, Domestically Protected. And what are we talking about? We are talking about bluefin tuna, one of the apex predators in the ocean. They get to be one of the biggest fish, one of the biggest vertebrate fish in the world. They are native to pretty much every ocean in the world, and they get to be upwards of just about a ton, almost 2,000 pounds is how big they've been caught. The world record for a really long time was 1,500 pounds on rod and line. They're absolutely incredible fish. They go all the way, they can reach speeds of up to about 50 miles an hour because they are almost pure muscle, and they're one of the most hydrodynamically inclined fish in the ocean. They are absolutely amazingly fast. So one of the main problems that they encounter here is when they're migrating in the Atlantic, at least. They follow a migratory pattern that is counterclockwise. They go against the currents in the Atlantic Ocean, and when they move into spawn, they end up in the Mediterranean. They have to go through the Strait of Gibraltar to get there, and through the Strait of Gibraltar, a lot of countries and a lot of fishermen set up these enormous. They're huge nets that start off almost a mile wide and taper into sort of a maze that sort of winds and twists and stuff and ends up in this huge, what you call, kill box. So they end up getting let out into this main net that gets pulled up, and the fish are then harvested and taken, and it's absolutely brutal. Entire schools of enormous, beautiful fish are taken at once on their way to spawn. So a lot of them don't even get the chance to once they are taken. This works into what we do in the U.S. and Canada throughout our commercial fisheries, at least on the Atlantic coast. The limits, they're very strictly regulated, very heavily regulated fishery. Bluefin tuna are per boat, per commercial vessel, per day, the limit is 1, and they must be taken by either harpoon or rod and line. And this really helps. And there's also, they do a seasonal quota. I think it's per region, it's 100 tons, which sounds like a lot, but I mean, one fish can weigh upwards of 1,000 pounds. So it really is 500, 600, 700 fish taken per year. And this works into the way that they're conserved here. We also have a size limit, a minimum length of 73 inches, which ensures that each fish has had a chance to spawn. They're beyond mature. They go, and from the U.S., they end up in Canada, and Canada is even more strict with their regulations. They run 1 per boat per year, 1 fish, so they don't even have a commercial weight quota. Now, what needs to be done is it needs to be regulated beyond our borders. There need to be international coalitions that work through the red tape and actually manage the fishery of bluefin through all the waterways, not just ours, because we can protect a fish that then leaves us and gets taken by someone else with no cost, which is not very cool. And how can we fix that? We can talk to our local coastal conservation association. They are very embedded in local politics. They work very hard to get policy that helps fisheries and helps fishermen to have more fun and sustain our fisheries more, which is very nice for protecting these beautiful fish. It's definitely a dream of mine to catch one. I don't know if I would want to kill one, though. Thank you. I hope this has been educational. I hope I've given you some sort of leeway on which way you would lean towards. Hopefully you want to protect these beautiful fish for the future. Let them grow absolutely huge once more.